It's pretty wild, right? Like how the whole online world is kind of transforming right in front of us.
Yeah, it's moving fast.
Especially with, more and more people getting access to Google's AI mode for search.
Right.
It's a total game changer for anyone who wants to be found online. I'm talking coaches, speakers, trainers, consultants, course creators, you name it. So that's exactly what we're diving deep into today.
Okay, yeah.
How do you make sure these super smart AI search engines don't just find you, but actually recommend you to people who are looking for exactly what you offer?
Yeah, it's a huge shift. We've got to adapt. Because the old playbook, all that stuff about SEO and keywords, it's just not enough anymore. Not in this AI world.
For sure.
You've got ChatGPT, Perplexity, Grok, Gemini, Claude, all these AI tools changing the game. And they don't work the same way as the old search engines. So
Right.
if the AI doesn't really get who you are and what you're all about, you're basically invisible when it comes to recommendations.
It's like you don't even exist. And that's why this deep dive is so important. We're going to give you some solid strategies, real actionable stuff, so you can not only show up, but actually stand out when people are asking AI for recommendations in your field.
Exactly.
Imagine someone saying to an AI, hey, who's a fantastic keynote speaker on leadership development, or what's the absolute best online course to finally crush imposter syndrome? Boom, you want your name to pop up.
Yeah, that's
Absolutely. And all the insights we're sharing today, they're from a guide developed by Dave Gambrell of Digital Marketing Mentorship. He really breaks down how to make this happen.
Yeah, and the first thing Dave emphasizes is this idea of creating what he calls AI-friendly content.
Okay, AI friendly. What's that all about?
It's fascinating, actually.
Mhm.
The things that make your content super easy for AI to understand, really grasp and process, they're also the same things that make it engaging and valuable for, real people.
Interesting. So it's not about tricking the system or anything like that.
No, not at all.
It's about actually creating good stuff that resonates with everyone.
Exactly. The days of just stuffing your content with keywords, like trying to game the algorithm,
Yeah.
those days are over.
Yeah, I remember those days.
Now it's all about genuine understanding. Think about those large language models, the LLMs. They've been trained on massive amounts of data. They're really good at understanding information that's deep, comprehensive, well-structured.
So basically they're getting smarter, and we need to step up our game too.
Right. So instead of just skimming the surface with a bunch of short, superficial articles, you want to become the go-to source, the definitive answer to the questions your ideal audience is actually asking.
Okay, I like that. So how do we actually do that? What kind of questions should we be aiming to answer in our content?
Think about the real challenges your clients face, the things they're struggling with. So questions like, how do I even get started with professional speaking? Or what's a proven framework for building an email list that actually converts? Or how can I take my awesome in-person workshop and turn it into a killer online course? Those kinds of practical problem-solving questions.
Got it. So we're moving from writing for algorithms to writing for people. Deep dives, not shallow splashes.
Yeah, exactly. And the next piece of the puzzle is how you organize all this amazing content you're creating. Think of it like this. You need to become the librarian of your own expertise.
A librarian. Okay, I'm intrigued. Tell me more.
So Dave talks about this concept called pillar content. Your pillar content, these are your big, bold, authoritative pieces. They're the cornerstones of your knowledge on those core topics you want to be known for.
So the ultimate guides, the foundational stuff.
Exactly. And then surrounding those pillars, you build what are called topic clusters.
Okay, topic clusters.
These are smaller, more focused pieces that dive into specific subtopics. And here's the key. They all link back to your main pillar content. This creates this really powerful structure.
I see. So it's like building a web of knowledge. It shows you're not just mentioning a topic here and there. You've got a deep, interconnected understanding of it.
Exactly. And there's some early data suggesting that AI might actually place a lot of weight on this internal linking structure when it's figuring out how much of an authority you are on a certain topic.
So it's like a secret signal to the AI. Hey, I know my stuff.
Yeah, basically. Now, once you've got all this great content structured in a way that makes sense, the next thing is the language you use.
Yeah.
And this is good news.
Good news. How so?
Because Dave is a huge advocate for using natural conversational language.
Yeah.
Like how we're talking right now.
So no more trying to sound like a robot.
No more jargon-filled, overly formal writing. Just write like you speak.
This is music to my ears.
Right. AI is getting really good at understanding how humans actually communicate. So write In plain English, use synonyms, related terms. Think about how people actually search for things. What words would they use?
Makes sense. So if people aren't searching for synergistic paradigm shifts, maybe we shouldn't be writing about it that way.
Exactly. And Dave has a great tip for making sure your writing sounds natural. Read it out loud. If it feels awkward or forced, the AI is probably going to pick up on that too.
I love that. It's like a built-in BS detector for your writing. Okay, so natural language is key. What else helps us get discovered in this AI-driven world?
Structure, structure, structure. Think
Yeah.
about how you read things online. If you see a giant wall of text, you're probably not going to stick around, right?
No way. Too overwhelming.
AI feels the same way. So make your content easy to skim and digest. Use clear headings and subheadings H1, H2, H3 to break things up.
Okay, like a good outline.
Exactly. Use bullet points, numbered lists, just like we are now. Include key takeaways, summaries. If you're writing a longer piece, structure it like you would a keynote presentation or a workshop.
So AI can follow along and understand the main points.
Exactly. It's not just about pleasing the human reader. It's about making it easy for AI to understand, index, and remember what you're saying.
Okay, structure is important. Now, I'm curious about something you mentioned earlier, schema markup.
Just
It sounds kind of technical. What is it and why should we care?
It might sound intimidating, but it's actually pretty simple. Think of it like adding little labels to your website's code. These labels tell AI exactly what kind of content is on the page.
Okay, so it's like giving AI a heads up.
Exactly. You can tell it, hey, this is a how-to guide, or this is a customer review, or this is an FAQ section. This can be super helpful for people like us, coaches, speakers, course creators.
I see. So instead of AI trying to guess what my page is about, I can tell it directly.
Right. Like imagine you have a page on your site about your keynote speaking services. You can use schema markup to tell AI. This page is specifically about my leadership keynotes. Here's my experience. Here's my target audience. It helps you show up in the right searches.
So it's like fine-tuning your visibility for specific topics. That's pretty powerful.
Yeah, it is. And the good news is you don't need to be a coding wizard to use it. Tools like Yoast SEO and Rank Math have made it really user-friendly, especially if you're using WordPress.
Okay, that's good to know. So we've talked about creating great content, structuring it well, using the right language. What about building trust with these AI systems?
That's where EEAT comes in. It stands for experience, expertise, authoritativeness, and trustworthiness.
EEAT. Got it.
The LLMs, they're being trained to prioritize content that demonstrates these qualities. They want to recommend sources that are not only informative, but also credible.
So how do we show AI that we're the real deal? How do we prove our EET?
Lots of ways. Showcase testimonials and reviews from happy clients. Share case studies, real-world examples of how you've helped people. Link to podcast appearances, books you've written, media coverage.
So basically prove that you walk the walk, not just talk the talk.
Exactly. And make sure your website is secure, loads fast, and clearly explains who you are and what you do. It all adds up.
Makes sense. Now, there's one thing from Dave's guide that I found really interesting. He talks about the importance of repetition.
Oh, yeah, that's a big one.
It seems kind of counterintuitive. Why would we want to say the same thing over and over again?
It might seem repetitive to us, but for AI, repetition is key. It helps solidify your expertise in the AI's memory. Just like with human learning, repetition reinforces the message.
So if we want to be known for something specific, we need to say it consistently in different places.
Exactly. Look at your website headline, your social
Yeah.
media bios, your media kit, even your podcast intros. Are you consistently communicating your core message, your area of expertise?
Okay, so it's about creating a clear and unified brand message that AI can easily pick up on.
Yes, exactly. Dave uses this great example. If you want to be known as the go-to speaker for team building retreats, you need to use that exact phrase everywhere. Don't be afraid to repeat yourself.
The go-to speaker for team building retreats. Got it. I'll try to work that into every conversation from now on.
Perfect. Now, here's another important point. Don't limit yourself to just thinking about Google.
Okay, what do you mean?
AI pulls information from all over the internet, not just your website. So you need to make sure your expertise is visible on other platforms too.
So where should we be focusing our efforts?
LinkedIn is huge, especially for coaches and consultants. Make sure your profile is clear, concise, and highlights your expertise. If you're creating videos on YouTube, optimize your titles, descriptions, and always include transcripts.
So AI can understand what the video is about.
Exactly. Same thing with articles on Medium or Substack. Make sure they're well organized and use relevant keywords naturally.
Got it. And for podcasters, make sure you have detailed show notes and transcripts for every episode.
Absolutely. And don't forget about online communities and forums. Participating in those conversations shows AI that you're an active and respected voice in your field.
So it's about building a strong presence across the entire web, not just in one little corner.
Right. Now let's talk about the kind of content that really impresses AI. Long-form, value-packed content.
Long form. But isn't everything about short, snappy content these days?
Short content is great for grabbing attention, but long-form content is what allows AI to really dive deep into your knowledge. It shows that you're a serious expert, not just someone who throws out a few quick tips.
So what kind of long form content should we be creating?
Think in-depth how-to guides, ultimate resource lists, thought leadership essays, comprehensive video trainings, the kind of stuff that really provides a ton of value and shows the depth of your expertise.
So it's about going deep, not wide. Quality over quantity.
Exactly. And finally, there's one last big shift we need to talk about. Moving from chasing keywords to chasing questions.
Okay, I'm listening.
Old school SEO was all about finding the right keywords and stuffing them into your content. But AI is changing the game. Now it's about understanding the intent behind the search. What is the person really trying to solve?
So instead of just trying to rank for a specific keyword phrase, we need to focus on answering the questions behind the search.
Exactly. Are they trying to compare tools, overcome a mindset block, build a system, hire a consultant, understand their needs, and provide the best possible answer?
It's like we're finally moving from manipulating algorithms to actually helping people.
Exactly.
So to wrap things up, it's clear that AI-powered search is here to stay. And if we want to thrive in this new world, we need to shift our focus. It's no longer enough to just write for search engines.
We need to write for people.
We need to position ourselves as the most helpful, knowledgeable, and memorable experts in our niches.
And that means creating high-quality content, structuring it well, using natural language, building trust, and focusing on the questions people are actually asking.
If we do all that, AI won't just remember us. It will recommend us. It will help us connect with the people who need us most.
So here's a question for you, our listener. What's one thing you can do today to start making your content more AI-friendly?
What's one step you can take to become the go-to expert in your field?
And if you want to learn more about navigating this exciting new world of AI search, be sure to check out Dave Gambrell of Digital Marketing Mentorship.
He's a fantastic resource, always on top of the latest trends and strategies.
Thanks for joining us for this deep dive. We'll see you next time.